welcome back to the channel. As you can see from the title and the image on the screen, I am going to be talking about a very, very important subject matter. Now, of course, there are a lot of people who don't see this as an important subject matter, but I do. And many of you probably feel the same way that I do, that this generation that we are living in has slipped way, way down into the gutter. Okay, so what am I going to be getting into here? I have this title, Teach Your Sons and Your Daughters, because there are things that need to be learned on both sides. If you look at the woman or the young lady on the left, our women used to take pride in covering themselves up and looking sophisticated, right? But when you look at the woman on the right, she has no such pride. As a matter of fact, the pride that she has is in a different direction. Instead of taking pride in being covered up and looking like a lady, this one on the right hand side, she seems to take pride in displaying her body for people. Now, right away, I want to say this up front for those of you who will say, well, what's wrong with that? That's just one of those swimsuit coverings, because where this picture was posted, people were actually making that argument that she's wearing a bathing suit, and those are just, meant to cover up the bathing suit. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Let me get into this. I'm talking about teaching your sons and your daughters for a number of different reasons. Your daughters need to be taught how to respect themselves enough not to dress like the one on the right. They need to know that it's important that they cover up themselves because they don't want the wrong kind of attention. Now, your sons need to be taught that you don't need to be trying to go after a woman that's dressed like the one on the right. I'm sorry. Now, if she dresses like that for you in your bedroom, that's one thing. But any woman who feels that this is okay and appropriate to go out in public dressed like that, then Houston, there's a problem. If you think that that's okay, this is the problem with this generation. They don't want you saying nothing to them. The young women don't want you telling them how to dress, and the young men don't want you telling them who to date and who to bed down with and who to marry, and they don't want any instruction on that. When you look at our old customs, parents were very much involved in all of this. Who you were dating, who you married. As a matter of fact, it wasn't even called dating. It was a courtship. Courtship meaning, I think I want to marry this person, so I need some parental guidance, some parental instruction, some of that train up a child in the way that they should go so that when they are old, they will not marry a whore or whoremonger. So that when they are older, they will not marry someone who is dressed like this, or someone who is dressed like, however men dress that's inappropriate. Sagging pants and showing your drawers and stuff like that. But this generation is so off the chain. Like I said, they don't want you telling them nothing. They don't want you to have any say-so in any aspect of their lives, because Western culture have taught them that parents don't have a say-so. It was a part of ancient culture for parents to be very, very active in all aspects of their children's lives so that they can have a better standing in life. But Western culture has said, look, it's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can't tell you what to do. And no one else can either. But what I find very interesting about all of that, a lot of people have adopted that mindset. But when young people get out here and they've messed their lives up, and things have gone in a wrong direction, then all of a sudden they want parents' input. They want parental input then to bail them out of situations, to pray them out of situations, to get them out of situations, or to have that open door when they've went out and messed things up in their lives and they have no place else to go. You have some young people who think like that because they've adapted to the mindset that parents don't have a say so. And when you have that mindset, of wanting to do your own thing and not wanting to hear what parents have to say, then you can best believe that you're going to experience some type of troubles or woes in your life. Now back to the ladies on the picture here. The young woman on the left, she seems to be raised in an era of, the early 1900s where there was respect for being a lady. And there was there was honor in being a lady and dressing like a lady and acting like a lady. There was honor in that. And they were proud to be considered ladies. Now, you dress like that, you're made fun of. When I say dress like that, not exactly like that, but covering yourself up. Okay? But on the right, oh, she's cool. Everybody think that woman, the one on the right, oh, this is cool. This is the way everyone wants to dress. When I say everyone, of course, I'm talking about the youngins and some of those who don't want to let go of their youth and they want to just kind of go into adulthood still acting like that. But everyone, as in those who consider themselves to be the in crowd. The in crowd wants to dress like that. There's no shame. They feel like this is appropriate and that you better not say anything. Don't say nothing to me about how I'm dressed. And see, the problem is today, young women, they don't understand that there's something going on here. Of course, a lot of men will bed you down. A lot of them. They'll look at you and they'll tell you how fine you are. But you can best believe that a woman like the one on the right, if she was dressed this way back in the day of the woman on the one on the left, you can best believe wouldn't nobody be asking for her hand in marriage. And like I said, they might bed her down, but she will not get the prize. She will not be the bride. The one on the left, on the other hand, stands a better chance of being the bride than the loose chick. Now, notice I censored it somewhat. Of course, that censoring isn't, you can still tell what's going on. I wanted to cover up, but at the same time, wanted you to understand what people think is appropriate these days. They believe that this is the normal way to dress. Now, I'm sorry, but that is not the normal way to dress. That is so inappropriate. For you to go to a store, a public place, it's like you're not considering anything. Now, I know adults shop, but guess what? Some people bring their kids too. No one should take their child to a store and have to censor their visit to the store because you want to dress like you know what? No one should have to censor a visit to the store. You have young girls who will look at that and their mom will have to explain to them why that's inappropriate. And you have young boys who will look at that and their little imagination pops wide open because you've shown them too much and you don't understand that that is not right. But, this was all prophesied that the daughters of Zion would be just like what you see right there on that image. Now, of course, we are not talking about every daughter of Zion. I know women of other nations do this too, but I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to the daughters of Zion and about the daughters of Zion. We have gone away backwards, fallen so far from grace that it's going to be a miracle for us to recuperate. As a matter of fact, the scripture already told us what was going to happen, that it's only going to be a remnant. Only a remnant. Only a remnant. It is my prayer that the Most High will begin to shake his people to the point where they understand, look, some things you have to let this stuff go. You got to repent and turn from your wicked ways because this stuff ain't good for our sons or our daughters. I would say to you mothers who are raising sons and there's no man around, teach your sons to walk away from this. I did a video recently where which was actually a previous video that I had uploaded years ago. But you also need to teach your daughters to run away from this type of mess right here. That ain't nothing but a trap. That's a disaster in the making. That's a disaster in the making, because you can't have a respectful relationship with somebody who walks around disrespecting her own self like this, and disrespecting just people in general. Like I said, children go to these stores. And for you to think that that's all right, something is going on in your head. Something ain't right up there. So anyway, I'm going to come down off of my soapbox right now. I just want to know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Of course, I know a lot of people don't think there's anything wrong with this, because they say, okay, well, it's a swimsuit and she's covering up. I'm sorry, but even this whole idea of a swimsuit and how women got their full cheeks out on display like that, I'm sorry. You can never sell that one to me. I'm sorry. Some people think differently about that, but my thing is this: what's the difference in walking around at a beach looking like that in a store? There is no difference. People like to trick their own minds into thinking that as long as you're at a beach, it's okay. But I say, what's the difference? You got a whole bunch of men, women, and kids there too. It's just a different setting. Let me just give you all a quick example of what I'm talking about. I remember when we were young people, one time we went to the beach, and I'm going to tell you right now, what I saw at that beach was, it just blew my mind as a young person. So imagine your little girl. And keep in mind, the atmosphere of the world today is people are so sexually overcharged, is off the chain, right? Keep all of that in mind. Keep in mind that young people are having sex earlier and earlier, younger and younger, okay? But when I was a young person, we went to a beach, and I remember this one thing, it just devastated my mind. And I'm just going to keep it real right here. It devastated and shocked my mind. We went to a beach, and one image that stuck out to me more than any image I saw on the beach, although everybody was dressed in this particular way, but the image that stuck out to me was this black guy. And when I say black, he was really dark. He wasn't brown, he wasn't caramel tone, he was a really dark skinned guy. And he had on some, not swimming trunks, but he had on the, what do you call them? I don't know what you call them when they look like underwear. I know it wasn't like the shorts, but he had on the kind that were squeezing and hugging, and everything was just out there. Now, at the time, I was a young Christian. When I saw that, my mind was blown, and I was devastated, y'all, to see this black man, and he looked like he had some type of erection going on. Okay, I'm just going to keep it real right here. But everything was just sitting out there, and I said to myself as a young Christian, I will never come to a place like this again. Now, of course, I have gone to a beach, I think 2 more times after that, because one was a baptismal ceremony, and so that's where they were having the baptism, and so we didn't see all of that at this particular beach. It was mostly, we had our little area for the gathering that we went to, and all of those beach goers were kind of like on another area, another direction. And then another time I went, it was after I got married. And we went one more time to the beach, and we went with a couple of friends or whatever, but those are the only 2 times after that I went to the beach. And I didn't like the environment, especially for taking children, because to see all of these people walking around with everything hanging out, it was disgusting to me to even see children in that type of environment, and for people to think that that's okay and to think that it's normal. Now, I can already hear some of your thoughts. A lot of people, well, that's what you do at the beach. I mean, blah, blah this and blah, blah that. Okay. Hello and welcome back to the channel. As you can see from the title and the image on the screen, I am going to be talking about a very, very important subject matter. Now, of course, there are a lot of people who don't see having sex and just doing all types of lewd things, not married, and just all over the place. When you think about these things and you don't draw that connection, when you don't make that connection, then that's where your problem is. That is where the problem is, because everybody is so used to this kind of stuff to where they don't want you to pull them back from it. But at the same time, everybody sees, knows, and understands that even the children are being affected by this. This is why they have sex education is so lewd now. It's totally different than it was when I was coming up. Now they're telling children how to do things. There are actually books out here that are teaching young elementary students how to do things and how to please themselves sexually. This world is going to hell in a handbasket. Anyway, I'm done with this. Want to know what your thoughts are in the comment section, but until next time, we hope you liked today's topic. Please leave your comments below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share it like this video, and with that, we're out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.